Yeah, but real quick, hey, let's run through the Cowboys draft since we
Okay.
just did your Packers, and then
Yeah,
we
I
can
got it in front
chop
of me.
that up into a Cowboys video. What'd you say?
Go ahead. Yeah, I got it right in front of me.
All right, first round, obviously Sertan was gone, JC Horn was gone. They traded back. They got Micah Parsons. We already talked about that one. I like the pick just because I think it puts pressure on Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith to perform like they were, and if they do, and Micah Parsons lives up to the hype, boom, best linebacker room in the league if they can return to that previous form.
And Jabril
Um,
Cox, I'm not sure as the fourth guy slash fifth guy who
yeah,
I was
which
high on.
we'll talk about him in whenever they pick him. But Parsons, I like the versatility he brings. He had, I think, one of the highest run stopping grades for a linebacker like ever in the draft, like the modern draft era. And as we know, the Cowboys' run defense last year sucked. The Browns ran for like 1,000 yards on us. Not really, but they just destroyed us with the run. So I like that they got him. Also, just insurance policy of if Van Der Esch does go down, you got Michael Parsons to instantly fill his role. Second round, I wanted Trevon Moehrig at a TCU. We never take safeties. I wanted him. I liked him. I thought he could be our single high kind of guy in the Seattle scheme. And he goes the pick right before us. We take Kelvin Joseph, cornerback out of Kentucky. He used to play for LSU, but he was suspended right before their bowl game for breaking team rules. I don't know what specifically it was. And he transferred to Kentucky after that. There are character concerns with him, but the talent is there. So if they can figure that out, it feels like Marcus Peters when he came out. Like the talent's there, but there's character concerns. I don't think he's as talented as Marcus Peters. That's why he didn't go in the first round. But sort of a similar situation of went to one school, had to transfer because of issues, character stuff's going on. But if he can figure it out, he'll be a stud. So I like the pick there. I mean, he has great ball skills. Apparently, he's also a rapper, and his name is Boss Man Fat. That's a weird thing. They were talking about, hey, maybe he's not committed to football. I don't know if that's true, but regardless, it felt like a risky pick. I hope it works out. It felt like a classic Jerry Jones pick, though. He doesn't care about character issues. If you're talented, he wants you, right? Like Randy Gregory. Third round, we have 4 third-round picks. I thought we'd use those to trade up and get Moehrig in the second, but we didn't. Um, sorry, I want to say them in order real quick. We
I
started with defensive tackle out of UCLA, Osa
had a,
Odigizua.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how to
I had the
pronounce
name in
it.
front of me too. I don't know.
Yeah, another defensive tackle that we've taken in a early round. We took Tristan Hill in the second round. We took Neville Gallimore in the third round. Now we got another guy in the third round. So I'm expecting this defensive tackle room to start putting up some production, honestly, because we've invested quite a few high picks over the last few years in the defensive tackle position. And it hasn't really worked out so far. So I'm hoping that these guys, which I have a lot of faith in Gallimore, Tristan Hill was starting to come on before he got hurt. So I'm hoping that this rotation is solid just because of how many guys we have in that room. Chauncey Golston, defensive end out of Iowa. I don't know a ton about him, to be honest.
I don't know a ton about him either. So
But it's a defensive end, another guy that we can put opposite of Demarcus Lawrence, just another guy in the rotation. So yeah, I like the positional selection there, and I mean the key here so far is 4 defensive picks. I love that. Once again, like I talked about earlier, if you have a lot of picks, odds are with a draft, if you can just keep picking guys, then maybe you hit on a few. Um, so I like that we just kept going defense. To round out the third round, we got Nashawn Wright, corner out of Oregon State, and this felt like a Dan Quinn fingerprints all over this kind of pick, because if you remember with the Seattle scheme back when he was the coach of the Legion of Boom, Richard Sherman 6'3", Brandon Browner 6'4", Nashawn Wright is 6'3", I
yeah,
believe,
it says
6'4", one
six
of
three
those.
here.
Yeah, so really big, lengthy corner. That's what he likes. Um, and we've done really well when it comes to overall selecting corners in the second-ish, third-ish round. Chidobe Awuzie, Jordan Lewis. Those guys were second and third round picks. Um, I like the selection so far. Once again, 5 defensive picks. The next guy we take, Josh Ball, tackle. Um, Once again, don't know a ton about him, but offensive line depth, it was a huge issue last year. So I was glad the first offensive spot we took was a tackle because we know Tyron Smith is bound to miss a few games. Hopefully he doesn't, fingers crossed, but he typically misses about 2 to 3 in a normal season. So we get some offensive line depth. Hopefully he can develop behind these guys and learn a thing or two behind this stud offensive line. Round 4, once again, Jabril Cox. I know you like to pick a lot.
Yeah.
The reason I'm a big fan of it,
round 2 or 3.
yeah, the reason I'm a big fan of it, and I talked to our resident LSU fan, who's also a resident Giants fan, Tyrone. He said that Jabril Cox's main specialty is coverage as a linebacker, which, as I talked about, Jalen Smith, horrible in coverage. Leighton Vander Esch is pretty solid, but he can't stay on the field. So we get some linebacker depth, which I also didn't mention. John Lee retired. We replaced a Penn State great with Micah Parsons, a Penn State linebacker. But we add more linebacker depth, Jabril Cox. So I like that selection a lot just for the fact that I think he was really good value at that spot. But he provides a unique skill set. So maybe on third downs, we can actually pull a guy like Jalen Smith off the field who can't cover anybody. Going on to the 5th round, we took Simi Fehoko, wide receiver out of Stanford. I think he's like 6'3". I might be wrong on that.
It says here on ESPN he's 6'4".
6'4". Okay, but
maybe they're being generous.
Big body wide receiver. I think he, developmental guy. Overall, just providing depth. Also, Michael Gallup, he's on a contract year. Maybe they trade him. Maybe he just walks. I don't know. So I like the, taking a wide receiver because CeeDee Lamb, obviously he's going to be here for a while. Amari Cooper signed under contract. But after that, a lot of guys who over the next few years, could end up going elsewhere. So I like the pick for just depth. And then the last few rounds, I mean, like I said, in the 6th round, they took a corner, Israel Mukuamu from South Carolina. Apparently they want him to play safety, but another Dan Quinn type of pick, 6'3", 6'4" corner, really tall, really lengthy. It's very clear what they wanted in the draft in their defensive backs. Then they took another defensive tackle in the 6th round. Once again, I think they just want run stuffers. And they finished off in the 7th, and they took a guard. Once again, the only thing I was disappointed about is they didn't take a safety. I wanted Morig in the 2nd round. I wanted Richie Grant. I would have been happy with Cisco. There was a lot of safeties that I would have wanted that just kind of kept going before our selections. And the one that I was down for in the later rounds, like I said, was Ardarius Washington.
Yeah,
I think he didn't get drafted because he was 5'8", but
I mean,
wish we would have taken him in the 7th.
Tyrann Mathieu. I'm not saying he's Tyrann Mathieu, but he has a lot of Tyrann Mathieu qualities. Very good, versatile safety. I'm surprised I'm actually surprised that he didn't get drafted. Sorry, I didn't realize who he was until I was looking at some things. And maybe
he signed with the Ravens.
Oh,
so
boy, of course he signed with the Ravens. Well, of course, the Ravens
I'm sad about that.
So now they get another speed guy for their back of their. They lost early, so man, that probably may be a good pick for them. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, if he's a stud, I'm gonna be. If Patrick Surtain, Trayvon Morig, and Ardarius Washington are all studs, I will be heartbroken because those are 3 guys that I wanted that I did not get coming in this draft.
It's gonna be tight. The one that would kill me would be Tyson Campbell. It's because I think Stokes will work out. I think he'll be solid, but I think Campbell has a higher ceiling. And he could be a true. He can be a man-to-man. He's a better man-to-man corner, I think, than Stokes. I think Stokes is more of a zone. It just feels like we're getting Kevin King 2.0. So, I mean, not that Kevin King was bad. I know that everyone's looking at the Buccaneers game like he's the worst corner in the world. It just so happened he just had the worst game of his career on the biggest stage. So
I will say Stokes does provide that speed so that ideally he would never get burned over the top because the dude is fast.
Yeah, I mean, so is Kevin, but okay.
Yeah, not as fast as Stokes, though. I mean, Stokes has I think he ran like a 4.29 at the 40, which it's pro day, so who knows. But
one last thing to end on. Very interested to see the Madden ratings. I feel like all these rookies are going to be juiced, man. Like either Because knowing Madden, like, what else can they do? They can't be like, well, we don't trust the 40 times, but like, I don't know. I'm interested to see what they do. Because if
If
all
they
the
trust the
rookies are
40 times,
if
it's
all
gonna be
the
the fastest
yeah all
rookie
the
class
rookies
in
are
Madden.
juiced, Kyle Pitts is gonna be faster than half the receivers in the league. And Jason always gonna be faster than half the corners in the league.
Jason always gonna have like 95 speed.
Yeah. So, anyways, we'll wrap it up there for the draft. Obviously more stories will come out soon, but and obviously we'll get back to basketball next week probably.